What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner. I told y'all I ain't got nothing else to do. So I'm just making videos. That's what I'm doing, making sure my equipment's working properly. Before I get into this story, because this one made me mad. What made me feel like Brutus, or what's he called? Pluto. Pluto. See, those that know something about Popeye back in the day, you know that he started off as Bluto. Or Pluto, something like Bluto. And then he became Brutus. Or was he Brutus and then became Pluto? See? It's like the Hawk. Was he David or Bruce? See, two versions. He was David Banner, but then he was also Bruce Banner. But anyway, it's making me feel like Brutus. I'm mean. You know what I mean. He's mean. I say what I mean. Do. I mean what I mean. Do. I'm so darn mean. That's how mad I am after watching what this clip is about to show y'all. Now, a couple weeks ago, it might have been weeks ago, this black lady, a Democratic politician, they got very, very ill in Michigan, almost died. Well, she decided to try the drug that President Trump mentioned during his press conference. That immediately the liberal media starts saying, oh, he's peddling snake oil. He's trying to kill people. And then you had a situation where some dude drinks fish cleaner and accidentally overkills himself. Now, I mean, honestly, you know, it was almost embarrassing that some of those channels covered that as if Trump was responsible and not stupidity. There's no way to spin that in my mind. I'm thinking this man died because of stupidity. There it is. Stupidity. What would make one take a bottle of whatever it is as an adult, rational thinking, and read the contents of it and say, okay, we got some, let's see, flammable. Anything that says flammable, you probably shouldn't ingest it. Anything that says keep away from eyes, mouths, those things, you should probably go, I shouldn't take that and drink it down. It's kind of like how people are actually seriously thinking that the president was suggesting the other day that y'all start drinking or injecting some type of disinfectant or Clorox into your veins. Anybody that has reasoning skills and rationality have to stop and check in and say, now, wait a minute. Do you have a case of anyone ever doing that and living through it? So for him to make that suggestion, you are saying that he hasn't stopped for 1 second to think it over and say, would I inject Clorox or some disinfectant into my veins if I had this disease? No, I wouldn't. So am I seriously suggesting that we do it to others? Now, of course, they wanted to say he's dead serious. He's trying to kill people with Clorox. But anyway, a rational thinking person would say he was being sarcastic. But nonetheless, this black lady, remember, she checks so many boxes of people that the Democrats just love. She's black. She's a woman. All of those things. And she happened to get cured from the disease that Trump spoke of, and it caused her to use or try this medicine, and she recovered. Now, you would think they should be in the streets singing to the beat and rhythm of the night, dancing to the morning light. Forget about the worries of your life. You can leave it all behind. Yeah, you would think they'd be out there. La, 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 la. All of that with the jazz hands. Yeah. But instead, they got upset that she had the nerve to go to the White House and thank Donald Trump. Listen to how they treated this black woman. Yeah, I thought that they were pro-women, all of that stuff. Let's expose some more of their hypocrisy.
Whitsett is a Democratic lawmaker in the state of Michigan. She believes she was suffering from coronavirus and steadily getting worse until she received hydroxychloroquine from her physician.
Yeah, what's wrong
then
with that?
she recovered. Whitsett came on this show to explain what happened, and as she explained it, she gave some credit to a president she didn't vote for.
Oh, she did?
Dr. Arsawala did save my life, and I do credit, the president to doing so and putting this out there because it wasn't accessible to me if it was.
That's where she went
for
wrong.
that fact.
Yes.
That's where she went wrong.
I had very little time to be able to get to this and be able to make a choice because my breathing did become very labored.
Yeah, but she gave credit to the
So
wrong person.
you just saw a woman who, at bare minimum, went through a harrowing experience and escaped with her life.
Right, yeah.
We should celebrate.
We should.
Not everybody is.
What?
A Detroit branch of the Democratic Party says it plans to censure Whitsett and expel her from the Democratic Party for daring to meet with the president after she got well. They didn't congratulate her for surviving.
They didn't?
They punished her for violating party orthodoxy.
Get out of here. No, Tucker, I don't believe it. I want to hear this. I want to hear this come out of her mouth. Because you are not going to tell me the party of inclusion and all of these things and tolerance and diversity would treat one of their own in such a manner. You're not going to tell me that, Tucker. I don't believe it. Let's listen and see exactly what she has to say about it.
So you just saw a woman who, at bare minimum, went through a harrowing experience and escaped with her life. Mm-hmm. We should celebrate, but not everybody is. Okay. A Detroit branch of the Democratic Party says it plans to censure Whitsett and expel her from the Democratic Party for daring to meet with the president after she got well. They didn't congratulate her for surviving. Okay. They punished her for violating party orthodoxy. Representative Whitsett joins us tonight, again, along with her physician, Mohammed Arswala. Welcome to you both, Representative. Representative, to you first. It's hard to believe this is true. Why would the Democratic Party expel you?
Yes, why?
Well, thank you for having me on again. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
Why they would expel me is beyond words for me. This is something that I did not expect. I started out with a simple thank you to the man.
Of course, sweetheart, you didn't expect it, because when you're a part of the party, you don't realize how racist and discriminatory the party actually is. You know, when you get out of something, you look back and say, man, that was horrible. It's like someone who lives in an environment that doesn't expose them to the rest of the world and how some people function. You know, being in the inner city growing up, we didn't realize that the rest of the world doesn't look at the same things that we looked at the same way. We thought everybody's okay with us tracking through people's yards to go and messing up their lawn. We thought, why are you getting upset, Mrs. So-and-so? Be quiet. We got to make a path through your yard to get to the store. I'm not walking all the way around. We couldn't understand why people wanted nice things and wanted you not jump over their fence and pick apples from their tree. All of these things that we as kids did, and then you get older and you get outside of that environment, you go, oh yeah, we were kind of, it probably needed a whooping or two, because that behavior wasn't good. And it took me getting out of it to realize that that was stinking thinking. That was horrible, horrible behavior. And so now she's getting exposed, see, to what they really are about. And all of the people who come out of that party as a result of being disobedient, especially those that are supposed to be lifted up and loved by the Democrats, hopefully their eyes will open and they will see that this ain't a party of tolerance and inclusiveness. It's a party of obedience, you know, and it's a party of segregation. Meaning, if you don't think like we think, do what we do. I don't care if you're black or not. Don't come up here talking about I'm a gay woman and I'm black and I'm all. No. The question is, are you obedient? That's the first thing you need to be asking yourself. Let's continue.
And that is the President of the United States. Oh. It's a thank you. I didn't know that thank you had a political line. I didn't know thank you belonged to one political party over another, and that if you were in one party, you could not say thank you to another person. I had no idea.
Those are tough rules. Tough. Very tough.
Do you think the fact that you credited not simply the president, but this medicine, hydroxychloroquine, offended them more?
Oh, I think it all correlated all together. I think it was just me as a state representative that I was out of line, according to possibly our governor, taking myself and going to the White House to speak with the President of the United States. I think it was a kind of how dare you, because the person who is.
So you telling me the governor of Michigan went right into the, how dare you? She went into that on you? You got to be kidding me, because you got the nerve to go to the White House and say, thank you, Mr. President. You know, first of all, black people aren't supposed to go to the White House. Why you think they call it the White House? Because it's all about racism and white power and white nationalism. Secondly, you're a Democrat. You're not supposed to go there. You're out of protocol. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're a woman. You're out of protocol. Let's continue.
In charge of the 13th Congressional District actually works for our governor.
We followed your governor fairly closely recently, and I just want to apologize. So let me just ask, did the governor call you and say, I'm so glad you didn't die? Welcome back to the living. Congratulations.
Actually, it was not as pleasant as that, and the text messages that we have had since then have not been as pleasant as well.
Why not?
I'm not going to stand by and be quiet, nor will I be silenced by anyone when it comes to the people in my community. I don't care who it is. You know, if you're not doing right by us, if you're not doing right by Black people within our community, I'm going to stand up, and I don't care who it is.
Give it to them.
I'm going to stand up against you. I'm going to speak out.
Word.
And right now, I'm speaking for the people who can't speak for themselves.
Say it.
That is my job. That is my responsibility. That is my duty. That's what I'm sworn to do. And I don't care who it is. I will go up against her any day. So the fact that she cannot work for the President of the United States.
Me too, Pat Tucker. I hope she's listening.
Well, I hope she is too, because, you know, the fact that she cannot work with the President of the United States, you know, Donald Trump, the president wants to work with us. He wants to give us the things that we need. And I've had the conversations with him. So I know firsthand. I've had the conversations with the Vice President Pence as well. So I know firsthand. Yeah. I've had the experience. So I know. I know the shock and awe on their face when they heard that we were not getting the things that we needed and deserved in the city of Detroit.
So now we find out what the real problem is. We don't want anybody in our ranks or in our party to go and subject themselves to Donald Trump at the White House for several reasons. One, the optics of it looks horrible. That we've been spending 3.5 years making up stories, building narratives, pushing propaganda, dividing the country, telling them he's a racist, misogynist, xenophobe, and all of this stuff. And that should be enough to make every person of color say, I wouldn't go and visit that guy. But you went and did it. Then had the nerve to give him credit for something that everybody should be able to say, yeah, that's a good thing, but I don't care what it is. You don't give him credit. You saw us at the State of the Union. I don't care what the situation is. We just sit down with our arms crossed like, na-na-na-na-boo-boo. And finally, we also don't want Black folks actually meeting and talking to Trump and finding out he's not the big racist that everybody says he is, and that he's willing to work with us. But we're so racist and so divided and so partisan that we don't even want a conversation. We're here simply to resist everything about the president. Now you see what party we're working with. Now you see why I felt like Brutus in the beginning of this video. I'm mean, you know what I mean. But kudos to her. I'm glad she went back on a tolerant station. A station that'll bring you on and let you talk about what's going on the inside. Republicans, Democrats, they all could come on there if they wanted to. They just choose not to. So kudos to her. I appreciate it. And I hope this thing goes viral so everybody will see what the Democrats are really about and how they treat the Black people that they just love. Now, you've been listening to Kevin and Kevin's Corner. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and the notification button. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Boom. Check out Extreme Tees. If you like something, put Kevin in a promo code. You'll get a 20% discount. You want to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner? Feel free. There's a link below this video to do that. And don't forget, you can find me every Wednesday, 7:30 live in Kevin's Corner on Facebook, YouTube, and my radio blog talk show. God bless. See you next time in Kevin's Corner.